In this video, we're talking about me a little bit. I've gone through and gave you guys 40 something videos, and I was thinking about it the other day, and you guys don't even know who I am. I have conversations with you guys every single day about moving to the area, right? And part of those conversations is my own experience moving to Eastern North Carolina. And so I figured I would come on and share with you guys a little bit about my personal life, my family, and then our decision to move to Eastern North Carolina and sort of what sprung that, conversation up and that decision and where we're at now. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, so first things first, I'm Avery Hamilton. I'm with American Home Team at eXp Realty. You can see it on the hat, right? American Home Team. That is me and my business partner's team. We founded the team in upstate New York where I originally got my real estate license. But rewinding the clocks a little bit more, I grew up in the Finger Lakes region of upstate New York. It's probably the most beautiful region in New York State as a whole. It's known as the wine country of the East Coast. And it is home of some of the cheapest homes in New York State, which is why, it's such a desirable area. However, taxes are still pretty high. And so in 2013, my twin brother and I, we joined the Marine Corps. And we had almost essentially the same job. Went to boot camp together, went to schoolhouse together, training together. And then we got shipped off on opposite sides of the world. He went to Hawaii and I was here in Jacksonville, North Carolina. A lot of people say I got the shit end of the stick on that one, but it just is what it is. With that said, I served on 2 combat deployments in the Marine Corps and found myself back in 2017 with a decision to re-enlist or move back home, start a family with my wife, and do that kind of thing. And obviously in making this video, I chose the latter of the two, and we moved back to the Finger Lakes region where my brother and I got our real estate licenses, and we were rocking and rolling in real estate. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to 91 West Main Street in the village of Shortsville, New York. I'm Avery, this is my partner Anthony, and we are American Home Team. Guys, this home from day one, we're heavy hitters, we're motivators, we're rocking and rolling with our clients and building and developing relationships, whether it was on the buy, sell, or invest end, or just relationships with attorneys, financial representatives, accountants, contractors, countertop installers, so on and so forth. We really prided ourselves on having a relationship with everybody in the industry. We were the resource in our area. And so from 2017 to 2020, my brother and I, we absolutely crushed real estate, did not have a formal team, just working together on a referral basis, basically, no ad spend, nothing, and found ourselves in the top in our MLS. And then with that said, 2020 happened and all hell broke loose in our country. We felt that division was at its all-time highest in the United States, and that was something that we honestly cannot stand. We love our country, we love the people inside of our country, we love our communities, and we fought for our communities, right, and our country. So the fact that there was this much division going on in 2020, we sat down and we said, how can we help our community? How can we as real estate agents help our community? We created American Home Team. An American Home Team was formulated around the idea that we were gonna use our real estate brand to unify Americans. If you're on this soil, if you're in the United States of America, we can help you, and you are our brother or sister. So as we created the brand, we saw it as an opportunity to help everybody and anybody create their American dream. And with that, from 2020 to 2023 has been absolutely an incredible ride. It's been our biggest years yet. We've helped more families than we ever intended on helping. And we do have a YouTube channel in upstate New York, by the way. And then in 2023, I made the decision to move here with my family. And that brings us to my wife and I's decision to move to North Carolina in 2023. Earlier this year, we made this decision because not only do we want to live near the beach and live where it's sunny skies all the time and where it's warm all the time, but we saw it as the opportunity to expand American Home Team and help more people across the country. And seeing as we lived here before, and seeing as there's military installation nearby, and seeing as my wife's requirement, there's a beach nearby, this area just fit for us. And so I'll tell you what, guys, this has been an absolute ride. You guys have supported me and my mission, and I feel like I have given you the tools to help you make those decisions to relocate to the area. With that said, here are a couple of the questions and concerns that we had as a family prior to moving here. And number one was the area that we wanted to be in, right? Remember my wife's requirement, it needed to be near a beach. And so that limited us to the coast. Now with that, this is the area that we would visit our friends all the time and absolutely love the area. But with that said, I'm sure the same is true for you. Not just any beach area will do for you. It's got to have certain things nearby that, you know, support you and your family or you and your lifestyle. And so a couple of those things for us were the healthcare facilities. We wanted to be a minimum of 30 minutes to any major healthcare facility. And so where we live in Holly Ridge, yes, we're close to the beach, but we are 30 minutes to Onslow Memorial, and we're also 30 minutes to New Hanover Regional. So if anything happens, we have our choice to go to either Onslow or New Hanover. And so that was number one. But number two was to make sure that we had a bunch of smaller facilities, smaller care facilities nearby that we could take our daughter to the pediatrics, right? We could get primary care done for ourselves. We could go to the dentist or the eye doctor, right? All of those things. Holly Ridge is smack dab in the center of Jacksonville and Wilmington. So all of the healthcare facilities, the dentists, the eye doctors, all in the middle are open to us. And we get those major facilities in some of the bigger areas like Jacksonville or Wilmington. And so that checked off the other box of just having some of those smaller practices nearby, convenient to us, that, you know, were good options. We don't need you to necessarily be the best in the country at what you do. However, we need you to be pretty damn good enough to support our family and take care of what we need taken care of. And I think that goes for the majority of Americans. And so with that, the healthcare side, Holly Ridge checked the box, because while we don't have any facilities necessarily here in Holly Ridge, we do have facilities in the surrounding towns and surrounding major cities. And so number two was, if I was going to maintain this real estate thing and grow my real estate practice and American Home Team, I would need to be near major markets. And a lot of you are looking for job opportunities. And job opportunities primarily come in major markets. So we're looking at Wilmington and Jacksonville. Now, because I'm not a W-2 employee, I don't have anyone that I work for. I wasn't looking up the job market, but as I've moved here and talked to a bunch of you guys and helped a bunch of you guys relocate, I've learned that the job market as a whole is absolute crap. And I say that very facetiously because the jobs are good here, but there's not a lot of them for a lot of candidates. So if you are applying to a new job in this area, you are gonna have a ton of competition. And that's one thing that, you know, hindsight's 2020, but we should have considered more for my wife. Hey, if we ever got in a hairy situation and my wife needed to pick up a job, where is she gonna work, right? Where does her skill set fit into? And also, is there opportunity in that skill set? And so once again, hindsight's 2020, the answer is no. There's not a lot of opportunities for her to get a job should she ever need to. Fortunately, she does not at this point, but should she need to, there's not a lot of opportunity. So it's something for you guys to think about as you make your move. If you're not being relocated by your company, you are gonna have to look for a new job, and it's very difficult to get a new job here just based on, you know, experience, because the candidate pool is so large. The other thing I was looking for was growth. And primarily what I'm looking for is real estate growth. If you're buying in a market like San Francisco or some of these super, super expensive states, growth is going to be very, very hard. First of all, it's hard to get into, especially if you're entry level in terms of home ownership. But number two, the inflation and the value growth is a lot less than areas like this, where you're appreciating at an astronomical value every single year. And so growth in this area is due to an influx of population, people relocating for the same reasons that I did and you are, as well as people relocating for retirement. And then due to the remote work that COVID provided us, a lot of people are working from home. And so if you're gonna work from home, you wanna live where you love, so why not move to the coast? And so when we look at the growth in Wilmington or in Jacksonville and everywhere in between along the coast, the growth is absolutely phenomenal in this area. And it's only projected to go up. Even in the worst of times, there is an increase. So if you want to make sure you're in a secure market and make sure your investment when you buy a house is secured, this is definitely gonna be a great area. And that was something that I was very heavy in because I'm analytical, I'm real estate driven, right? My main investments are in real estate. They are not in the financial market. Like it or not, that's just who I am. And I want to make sure that investments are secure in where I'm living and where I'm investing. And this area is definitely going to be secure. And then moving on, we needed things to do. We needed options. And so back when we lived in upstate New York, we lived about 4.5 hours away from the Adirondack Mountains. We would take an impromptu weekend trip every once in a while up to the mountains, get an Airbnb, and just stay for a weekend if we had nothing going on. And so moving to a new area, that is something that we really wanted to do. Yes, I know we live in a vacation paradise. We live next to the beach. Why would we want to get away? Well, we're just those people that like to get a change of scenery every once in a while. We like to show our daughter the world and new experiences and that kind of thing. And I am very much a mountain person. If it were up to me, I would be living in the mountains versus the beach. But my wife kind of takes all when it comes to that. So with all of that said, we are only about 5 hours to the mountains. And so should we have that itch to go drive up to the mountains, we can do so in only about 5 hours and see the lake, see the mountains, get the snow if we want the snow in the winter time. But overall, it's just a phenomenal location to be able to go and do other things, extracurricular things. With that said, there's hiking trails nearby, there's dog parks, there's tons of breweries, tons of restaurants, tons of hangout spaces, and there's a ton of things to do for the kids. When we were visiting one time before we lived here, we took our daughter to the playground and we were actually amazed. There were actually kids playing on the playground. We never really saw that in upstate New York, and if there was kids playing on the playground, the kids sort of coexisted. They never played together, they just played in their own separate area and coexisted. But here, kids are playing together, everyone's friendly, the parents are talking, so on and so forth. So the things to do around here are plentiful, and if you wanted to, drive a couple hours to go see the mountains or go to Raleigh or Charlotte, you can absolutely do so. And additionally, we needed our new state not to break the bank, right? That seems to be a big thing for a lot of people. Living in an expensive state kind of sucks, especially when you're self-employed. But not only does North Carolina have lower property taxes than most other places, they also have a lower sales tax than most other states. And so when you're adding up your expenses year after year, and you're missing out on like 60% of your money, consider North Carolina and see what that difference is gonna be, because I can assure you it's probably gonna be cheaper than where you're currently living. Now, the one weird thing about North Carolina is that there are a bunch of random taxes, like a tax on your registration on your vehicle, as well as other personal belongings like your boat and things like that. And then the other thing that we needed was a friendly atmosphere. One of the things that we really pride ourselves in with our daughter is how kind and loving she is. And if you ever get the chance to meet her, I don't put her on videos, but if you ever get the chance to meet her, you will absolutely agree. And yes, this is me boasting, boosting myself up a little bit, my wife up a little bit, and my daughter a little bit. But we pride ourselves in raising her to be a kind individual. And so we needed to move to a place that was not hustle and bustle, rude New York City, San Francisco style people. We wanted it to be laid back. We needed kind individuals around us to help support us in raising our daughter the way that we want her raised. And honestly, just being in New York was not conducive to that desire. And so North Carolina was absolutely a fantastic choice for us. And after moving here, I can tell you that everybody is so welcoming. They might talk smack on the YouTube comments and tell you not to relocate here, but I can assure you when you move here, they will absolutely become your friend. They'll be kind to you at the restaurant and take good care of you at the hotels and all of that kind of thing. Everyone is just super laid back, super friendly, and nobody's really in too much of a rush to do anything. Everyone's gonna treat you with respect as long as you treat them with respect too. And the last thing I'll say sort of about that is make sure that you're not bringing your politics with you. Whether you're right, left, center, doesn't matter. Don't bring your politics with you and expect to change North Carolina. North Carolina is a bunch of rural towns. It is a gun-toting state. It is a heavily militarized state. So when you're, moving here, do not expect to change any of that because it's most likely not going to happen. And if you do, you will find that people will oust you pretty quickly. And so with all that, guys, I hope you got something from this video. I hope you know who I am a little bit more and who you're working with, as well as putting some of the pieces together why I chose this specific area in Eastern North Carolina. Obviously healthcare facilities are a major factor. Education's a major factor for a lot of you. Things to do, cost of living, all of that stuff. And I hope that this video shed a little bit of light on our decision to move here. Once again, we did move here in 2023, and it has been absolutely the best move that we've made so far. Honestly, we have no desire to look back into the Finger Lakes region. I do conduct business in the Finger Lakes region of upstate New York, and I have a team there, obviously. So, that will always be part of my life. But living here in North Carolina is definitely our place to be. So I hope you guys can resonate with that. And until the next video, guys, peace. See you later.